Today on CityCast Nashville, did you know that our city's wacky and wonderfully experimental theater scene is thriving? With the Kindling Arts Festival kicking off tomorrow, co-artistic director Daniel Jones and Emma Supika, creator and director of the East Nashville Facebook page, The Musical, join us today to talk about our city's independent artists, the support and spaces they need to keep pushing their creative boundaries, and how they're keeping Nashville weird. It's Wednesday, July 22nd. I'm Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Before we jump into the wacky, wonderful world of theater here in Nashville, I have a favor to ask. CityCast Nashville is doing our annual listener survey. That's right, folks. It's that time of year again. So if you wouldn't mind, just head on over to citycast.fm/survey to fill out this survey. Y'all, it really, really helps us out. It gives us a chance to learn more about you and what you want from us here at CityCast Nashville. And we just want to do good by you. So go ahead, fill it out. You'll be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and CityCast Nashville swag. Everybody loves some swag. So again, that is citycast.fm/survey. We would be so grateful if you took it right now. Now, on with the show. Emma, Daniel, welcome to CityCast Nashville. It's been a long time coming, and it's just in time for the Kindling Arts Festival. This festival is back for its 9th year, and I hate to admit it, I have never been before. So before we get into this year's programming, Daniel, I'm going to throw it to you. What is the Kindling Arts Festival, and how did it get started?
The Kindling Arts Festival is a celebration of local artists that are working in experimental and contemporary performance here in Nashville. It's basically for people that make live performing events that are a little atypical, pushing the boundaries, pushing the envelope. And we get to work with folks from different mediums. We work with theater makers and dancers and musicians and comedians and performance artists and writers. It's quite a smorgasbord of the local performing arts community. And we started it back in 2018 when we realized that there was a severe gap in Nashville's performing arts landscape. If you are an independent artist that does not have a connection to an institution, where do you go to make your work? Where do you go to try your most daring thing? Where do you go to have an uncensored platform to share art that is not going to be controlled by religious interests or political interests or people being too scared to put something in front of their donors? This will be our 9th year of programming, and literally hundreds of projects will have been launched through Kindling Arts Festival over the last 9 years.
Let's zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture of Nashville's independent theater scene. Emma, what does this scene look like right now in 2026?
I think that there is more independent theater that's happening in 2026 than there has been in the past, at least in sort of my world. I come from improv mostly. I'm an improviser. And so beyond that, I obviously create like other theater-based shows, but improv is the sort of foundation of all the work that I do. And in my world, there are many more independent teams, shows, people who are trying to put things together than there have been in the past. And our biggest issue is that there's not a lot of space for us to do everything that we want to do all the time. But, I think I get to see a lot more independent theater too that's beyond improv. It feels like there is more in 2026. There's more appetite for it for the creators and the makers and the performers. But I also think that there's more of an appetite from audiences.
Yes, I think that what we're learning is that people are quite hungry for authentic voices, for new works, for things that are a little bit interesting and outside of the norm. A lot of people in Nashville, we've been burned by going to really boring plays. And so people hear theater and they're like, please don't make me go to the theater. I don't want to go to the theater. And so what we're doing in our corner of the world, like what Emma's doing and what Kindling's doing, we're really trying to cultivate really exciting, in-your-face artistic experiences, things that have you laughing or crying or just fully immersed, things that are very opposite than sit quietly in the dark and be bored. And so across the city, I think we're seeing a lot of appetite for that kind of work. Interestingly, in the last Thrive cycle, there were a lot of really interesting immersive theatrical projects that emerged. And there was a really big appetite from people that are not quote unquote traditional theater audiences for that kind of experience where they're in a house or they're in a studio or they're in a place and they feel like, oh, I didn't know performance could happen this way. That's what I get really excited about as I see those kind of emerging independent voices coming out.
Yeah. And I think the ecosystem is also really connected. You know, like I want to talk about things that I saw, and it's like my friends and collaborators. Our friends just also spun up Bubblegum Theater Company. This like
I just saw that. Well, I just went to the Pride show.
Good. Yeah, they're doing really cool, great work. And so there's more of that happening. And I feel like there's a sense of empowerment. I think that people are like, yeah, I can do this. I can make this, both good and like emerging trial experimental stuff. So it feels really exciting. I'm glad for the momentum.
And Daniel, when you say thrive, you're talking about Metro Arts grants. Is that correct?
Yes, these were grants that went to independent artists from Metro Arts.
Nashville has lost and changed a lot of creative spaces over the years. How difficult is it then for independent artists to find affordable places to rehearse and then perform?
Bananas.
Nightmare.
We both in our separate, so I am the founding executive director of an improv nonprofit. We both, and Kindling, we just bit the bullet and both rented our own rehearsal spaces for this year because we have been trudging up that hill for so many years of negotiating, borrowing, renting, scheduling. It's so much. Even if there is a space, the range it costs and just what you have to do administratively to make that all happen is so much. It's worth, like, we've worked for a while to find an affordable space, and even then it's pretty tough to find something that's even ours that works. Like, we're grateful for both spaces, but I would love for something that's even a better fit for us and what we're doing. And then performance spaces, that's on top of it. I mean, my biggest need, my biggest desire is to have more theaters on the East Side. Obviously, I do a show that's based in East Nashville or based on East Nashville, and I want it to be on the East Side. But we have some nice music venues, and we're really, really grateful for the venues that we've gotten to work with. But they are music venues, and they're not meant for theater. Exactly. They're not built for theater. And so having spaces that are really conducive to the work that we do would be lovely. And putting it up in a house, putting it up in a warehouse, turning a music venue into a theater venue, like those are all things that we're able to do. But it would be so lovely if we had the choice for it to be a real artistic choice rather than a scrappy figured out.
I don't think most people in Nashville know that most performing artists are making work in living rooms, in their garages, in their aunt's studio space that's a visual art studio that they've converted into a performance venue. Like there's this really wide range of things that are happening. And so even as audiences come to see work, I think they imagine the cost of what it is to see what's in front of them. But there's this whole prelude that comes before that of people trying to like wedge into these different rehearsal spaces or convert different rooms in their house for several months into these rehearsal spaces. Things are being built in church fellowship halls. You can't have Wednesday nights and you can't have Sundays. And please restore the furniture this way when it's done. Oh, and actually you can't have this day either because we're going to have a class in there. I mean, there's all of these competing responsibilities for a lot of these spaces. And anecdotally, like Kindling, for example, the festival started in 2018 in Wedgwood, Houston. And imagine trying to put on a performance festival in Wedgwood, Houston now. It's almost impossible to imagine because the corporate interest has become so strong in that community and the luxury shopping has become so strong in that community that like it's hard to imagine trying to put that on. And several of the spaces that were dedicated to arts have completely been removed from that neighborhood now. And the main venue that we were using to put on Kindling Arts Festival is where Nashville 911 films now. So it's like, whoa, where are we anymore? It is an interesting ride.
Quick question, Nashville. Has your sink been draining a little slower than usual? Or maybe you've heard some gurgling when the washing machine runs. Well, those little warning signs are often your main drain asking for help. And trust me, I am speaking from experience. It's a whole lot easier and a heck of a lot cheaper to deal with the problem now than to wait until you've got water backing up into your kitchen or your bathroom. That's where Hoffman Brothers comes in. Right now, they're offering a main drain opening special for just $95. It's a flat rate, so there are no surprises. And their licensed Nashville plumbers will get your drain flowing again before a small issue turns into a major headache. So don't wait until you're ankle deep in water, like I did. Book your $95 drain service today at HoffmanBros.com. Hoffman Brothers has Nashville covered. Well, then, despite all of those challenges, let's lift up some theater companies in town. Are there any that really excite you, maybe even individual artists that are doing work that just thrills you right now?
I feel like we could say so many things. I already mentioned Bubblegum. Love what they're doing. They're good friends and love working with them. Really cool. I really like what Dicey and Sarah just put on with Afterlife.
I heard about this.
It was really
Tell
cool.
us about this. Our SpawnCon guy here at CityCast Nashville went to the performance and then was raving about it.
Good. I mean, it was an immersive musical journey in a house that had story and performance art and dance. And I mean, it was beautiful. And these two artists are incredible. Dicey does Defy Film Fest. Sarah Saturday is a performance artist and musician and projection. I mean, she does so many cool things. It was a great experience. And I was super happy that it happened. Big fan.
I'm really inspired by Nashville Story Garden as of late. They put on some really interesting productions. They're smart. They only do something when they need to do it. They're not trying to do 4 shows a year. They're trying to do 1 show every 18 months, and they want to make it really good. You know, Lauren Burst and Tamara Tadris that lead that are just incredible actors, but they're also really building something cool with Nashville Story Garden. I also really am inspired by Asia Pyron and Pi Dance and the ways that they're doing things in different performance spaces. She's got this sort of fearless mentality where she's ready to go and she's going to put something in, you know, the park at the Centennial Arts Center, or she's going to make something work in the music studio, or she's really adaptable and smart. And she has a new piece in Kindling that's collaborating with the local punk band Snooper. So that's pretty cool. It's got puppetry and this punk rock score. And I also, you know, for a different flavor, I really love everything that Sean Witzel does with Destiny Theater Experience. He's someone who largely works out of the Dark Horse Theater on Charlotte and creates very socially engaged work that has often to do with the justice system, with family dynamics. I mean, it's really a wide range, but he's been working for a really long time in this community and has an incredible lens as both a theater artist and an activist.
I have one more to say. Actually, I have 2 more to say. I love Garage. They're a dance collective company. They do like Contact Improv, McKay House, Emma Morrison. And then like shout out Deep Strange. They're the ones who are putting on Fairy Floss, which is the musical I'm in at Kindling this summer. But they also do film. I was in Cackleberry County Fair that they did in Kindling a few years ago. Like they do some cool stuff. And I'm very grateful I get to work with them.
Okay, this is kind of a chicken or the egg question. Are local companies doing weird and creative work because that's what they want to do? Or is it the lack of space pushing people to be super innovative and wacky and weird and creative?
Yes.
Yeah, it really is both. One thing we've learned with Kindling is that people are really wanting to do some weird things. So what's interesting with Kindling is they're not having to secure their own space. They're not having to front the finances for it. And they're bringing us the most raw, authentic version of what they want to do because they know we're not going to say no because it's too weird or it's too politically volatile or anything like that. So the weird art is out there and people are desperate to make it at any cost. On the flip side of that, people are coming up with creative solutions because of the lack of space. So both things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, the thing I would say to that is that like both things are true at the same time. And I just wish that we had I've created site-specific work, and it would just be great for me to say, I'm looking for this type of venue and for there to be a variety of options. And then, oh, I would like to do a more traditionally staged theater production. Oh, I also have the opportunity to do that there. And there are a lot of choices for me to go to that. Daniel and I are both, I think, similar. When we drive by big spaces, old churches, warehouses, et cetera, I go, oh, I want that to be a theater. And so, but we'd put up productions in those spaces. It just is so much work to think through that. And then on the flip side, it's like, are people going to drive out to Donaldson to see this show? Or are people going to go to this place that's maybe a little bit outside of what we might think as like the central arts district? And like, who even knows what that is at this point in Nashville? We just named an arts community that has been kind of bought out. And so where do they go for that is something that we think about, and that I don't think we feel like we have a lot of agency or control over.
All right. We're going to play a fun, very quick game. Since I've never been to the Kindling Arts Festival, I'm going to list off categories of shows and you're going to tell me which show to go to. Okay. Weirdest show.
Off the Clock Performance Art Showcase, new works by Landry Butler, Chris Strauss, Jennifer Whitcomb Oliva, and Grandma Fun. It is wild, adventurous, kind of a fever dream.
Coolest venue.
The Curb Center at Vanderbilt University, an old former home that is being used for a site-specific dance theater work created by Found Movement Group called Tea. It's a Southern Tea Party.
A friend of mine just told me and asked if I would go with her. So I'll see you there. Okay, kid friendly.
Nope.
Yeah, love to hear it.
Not this year. Some years, yes, but not this year.
Okay, all right. Well, then what's the most risque? Everybody knows I got a dirty mind. I got to curb myself sometimes, but...
Sure. The title says it all. See You in Hell, a burlesque and variety show being created by Viola Vainglory and Kinetic Kristen that has a cool like burlesque performer visiting from Chicago, pole, hoop, all sorts of exciting variety acts in that show.
Last but not least, most whimsical.
Fairy Floss, a new musical about the creation of cotton candy, which is a local Nashville story. And in this version, it's kind of a fan fiction rewrite as a queer romance. So it is a beautiful 90-minute musical with entirely new songs. Emma is in it, directed and created by Madeline Hicks and Kara McLeland. So got to see that one.
Okay, wait. So I did just hear this, that Nashville invented cotton candy. Is that true?
Yes.
And this is in this musical. Okay. All right, folks, let's go learn some history.
And it's a dentist and a candy maker that get together to make it. So ironically, a dentist is involved in the creation of a very sweet treat.
I'm so excited about all this. Okay, We're switching gears to another Nashville institution, East Nashville Facebook page, The Musical. Emma, for anyone who's never heard of it, what on earth is this show?
This show is a musical sketch review. So it's a series of sketches, mostly musical, where we take posts from the East Nashville Facebook page and reimagine them comedically in story.
This feels like pretty drama-centered. How do you turn neighborhood Facebook drama into musical theater? And do people get pissed off?
Great question. It's actually not too drama-centered. When people hear this, they think it's dramatic or drama, but it's not. We really treat it as like a celebration. One of our fans called it a love letter to our collective bullshit. And I really love that. That's exactly what it is. We don't try to roast anybody. We just maybe like tease a little bit, poke fun, but it's all self-aware about that. If there is drama, we take something and make it lighthearted. It's truly like a celebration of what happens.
Okay, I love to hear that. I don't want cruelty or any roasting on our beloved neighborhood.
That's right.
Oh, no, it's joyful and celebratory and hilarious. And the best part of it all is that you don't even have to really be from East Nashville or from Nashville or in the Facebook group to get it. And we had people last year from like DC, North Carolina that were visiting family and ended up coming to the show and they loved it. Although there are a lot of Easter eggs for the people who are ingrained in the Facebook page.
Yeah, that's true. I like to sort of have like what I call a joke parfait, which is like everybody gets most of it, but then there's going to be a layer that like half of the people get it. And then I will write a joke that one person in the audience really loves. I'm living for that cherry. Yeah.
And how many years have you been doing this?
This is the 4th year. So we started at Kindling Arts Festival 4 years ago, and a shorter kind of 1-act version of the show. And then it's grown to be a full 2-act show in 4th year.
Any neighborhood controversies we should be looking forward to? I know you just said there's not much drama, but there has to be a little bit.
There's a little drama, but actually the drama that we pull in is more global or national. So every year we try to really match up what's happening in our community, but also relate it to, what's in the zeitgeist at the moment for all of us in our experience. Since we rewrite it every year, it's just what's happening right now.
How many actors?
10 in the cast, 2 in the band, and then we have some guest performers that are secret right now. And by that, I mean, I'm still figuring them out.
Well, you got a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. This show really does come together because it's supposed to be relevant and of the time. So there are truly sketches that we might wait until the night before to figure out because we want to make sure that we're up to date. If something happens in the group, we got to figure out how to do it.
And it's part of the Tomato Arts Festival?
It is on the same weekend as Tomato Arts Festival.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, good. So we can drink our Bloody Marys during the day and then head there at night.
That's right.
That sounds wonderful. All right, finally, where can people catch both Kindling Arts Festival and East Nashville Facebook page, The Musical?
Kindling Arts Festival is July 23rd through 26th at 8 different venues across West Nashville, including Oz Arts, Dark Horse Theater, Barbershop Theater, Curb Center, Sparrow Day Church, the list goes on. And East Nashville Facebook page, The Musical, is happening August 6th, 7th, and 9th at Eastside Bowl. Information about all of them lives at kindlingarts.com. And if you want extra treats on East Nashville Facebook page, The Musical, it's enfbmusical.com.
It lives in the cherrybommusicals.com website. So there's another even website because it's performed by Cherry Bomb.
It's at Eastside Bowl. That feels like a step up in capacity this year.
Yep. We've got more tickets available, but I will say that they are 70% sold out at this point.
Okay. You better buy those tickets, folks. And then about the festival, can you buy tickets to the whole thing or how does that work?
So for the festival, you can buy a festival pass at either a standard or VIP level. Both of them get you access to all 22 unique artistic productions in the festival lineup. So you can see a smorgasbord all weekend long. I think the most you can fit in realistically is about 14 if you give every waking moment to Kindling Arts Festival for July 23 through 26. Our average pass holder sees between 7 and 10 shows. So they get a lot of bang for their buck. The passes are $109 for standard or $149 for a VIP. And if that is not your flavor, you can buy individual tickets to all 22 unique artistic experiences. So you are welcome to come and see 2 things in the festival and just buy individual tickets for those if you prefer.
Sounds like we have our own little fringe festival, which is so exciting. We'll put all that information in today's show notes. Listeners, I'll see you at both of these things. I'm so grateful that these exist here in Nashville. Daniel, Emma, thank you so much.
Thanks, Marie.
Thank you for having us. It's such a pleasure to get to talk about the local art scene anytime. So we love it.
Well, thanks for letting us get weird here in our city.
Keeping it weird.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. Early voting is open now through August 1st for the August 6th state and federal primary election and municipal general. Go vote! And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our CityCast Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!